It's October, and we have Dan Lee and Ryan Maynes of the Smoky Mug, Halloween spooky season, sports bars, and when was the last time you visited your favorite, not new, restaurant? Welcome to Eat It, Virginia.
Hello and welcome to Eat It, Virginia, your number one podcast talking about food and restaurants in the Commonwealth. My name is Scott Wise, and I'm joined, as always, by my friend, Roby Martin. You can watch Eat It, Virginia on YouTube, Spotify, and WTVR.com, and of course, listen to us wherever you get your favorite podcast. It is spooky season. Roby Martin.
So pumpkins, lattes, leaves, burgundy.
Halloween.
Halloween.
What kind of candy is the Martin household giving out this year?
So we live so close to where they shut down Hanover, so we give out a lot of candy.
Okay, so what do you, is it full-size bars? Are we talking full-size bars?
I don't like to be known as the house that doesn't have the good candy, but most of my candy stuff has peanut butter in it, which means like I'm not really good for a nut allergy. What is the nut allergy thing? Do you put like a red tape on it? Like there's something that you do to the candy for people with nut allergies.
I think you just don't serve it.
Oh, you just don't serve it. Okay. What is the candy in your house?
I'm an M&M. We're an M&M household. The little
peanut
fun
M&Ms or regular?
No, of course not.
What are you even saying?
Well, for the kids with the allergies, you can't give out peanut M&Ms. We just talked about this.
I know, but I don't. I can't.
We literally
Nobody
just
eats
talked about
regular
this.
M&Ms.
This guy does.
Oh.
First of all, on the podcast today, I know you mentioned it off the top, but we have the Smoky Mug, the guys from the Smoky Mug.
Wonder what candy they like.
Dan and Ryan. Well, we can go to their trunk or treat event later this month. We'll get to that in just a moment. Do you have, if you had to rank your top 5 candies, not necessarily Halloween, but just in general, do you have like a ranker?
Okay, so it goes the Reese's Cup, the Reese's PC. There's like this European Cadbury thing that like is crumbly that you can only get in Europe, and it's called like a crinkle. I like that. That's really all. There's just like not a lot of candy in my house.
Okay.
Ryan would so be upset from me saying this. He loves candy, all candy.
What do you get him?
He likes a Mr. Good bar. He likes a Crunch bar. He likes a Hershey's bar. He likes a, is it chocolate? He likes it all.
I was like, is that the name of a bar? I've never heard of that one.
It's just, if it's chocolate, Ryan's
There's
eating
that show on Netflix, Is It Cake? So I didn't know if Is It Chocolate was something else.
Ryan's show would be, is it chocolate? I'll eat it.
For me, it's M&M's, Twix, Kit Kat. I used to love Three Musketeers growing up, but now I think I'm more of like a Milky Way Snickers versus the Three Musketeers.
Do you eat the ones with coconut? I feel like that's polarizing.
I don't seek them out. I'm not sure. There aren't too many mounds.
I'm enjoy. I think one has nuts and one doesn't.
Yeah, this is like commercial.
Back to that peanuts.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Or no free ads. Free ads.
But anyway, so whatever one doesn't have nuts, apparently you're not supposed to serve during Halloween. That's a tip from Scott.
That's right. So on our last podcast, on the September episode.
The September issue of Eat It, Virginia.
You talked about some of the most restaurants that you were most excited for opening up for the second half of 2025, which is, we're well past the second half, but you understand what I'm trying to get at here. And on social media, we posted a clip on social media and we got some comments, as we tend to get.
Love it.
People loved your list, but there were some omissions, perhaps. Do you want to add any? After you saw some of those suggestions that came in, they were so polite suggestions. And when you saw those suggestions came in, are there any others that maybe we didn't think about in the moment that we want to add to this list of restaurants?
Somebody brought up Gather for Grace, and I will tell you, I didn't know when it was opening, so we didn't talk about it because I hadn't heard that it was coming up. And it's been in the works. Jessica Wilson, who is the chef, she's had it in the works for a little while. If people remember, it was going to be in Church Hill, and then she transitioned out to the old Odyssey space at Patterson and Three Chop. So I was like, I could mention it, but I'm not sure she's in that mindset yet. But good news is that I just received an email and it appears that she's really close to opening. So I'm looking forward to that because having natural wine and kind of I'll call it farm to table, but I fear that gets used a whole ton in the restaurant scene now. Let's just call it local cuisine and natural, good for you stuff in the Gather for Grace. I'm excited about that.
Were there any others that you wanted to mention?
Did I have any other openings that I wanted to mention?
Perhaps the bagel place?
Oh, you mean the new spot? Sunday Bagel's not new.
Right.
But they are going to go over in the north side, and you know that is my favorite bagel. So I'm excited that they're going to have a brick and mortar over there. I don't know if she's really gotten all the details together, but I like the idea of them having something permanent. I do hear that Janet's is just overrun with humans, which is awesome.
Kudos to them. 2 other restaurants that you had mentioned on your initial list, Barbouille, right? Barbouille, Barbouille and Lafayette Tavern. Barbouille is now in the pop-up phase. They're popping up as they kind of get that place as they get that place set up over at the Old Brenner Pass. And Dean, I asked him when he thought maybe Lafayette Tavern might be open. I said, just give me a month. You don't have to give me like a day. He said, December. So hopefully by the end of the year.
What? The fact that he gave you that is good.
Yeah, by the end of the year, hopefully we'll be able to have a drink at
we got asked about the not a steakhouse thing, and I realized that it probably was a little bit of an inside joke.
Yes, very much so.
I know, but I think that they just don't want to be pigeonholed as a steakhouse, and not that steakhouses are bad.
No.
But,
it comes with there's baggage with the steakhouse.
Or they're just, you think that you're going to have like 9 different cuts of steak if you go to a steakhouse, right? Steak house. So there
steak will be served there.
Yes.
But it is not a steakhouse. Along with the good, we have some unfortunate news to share, some closings, some beloved Richmond restaurants, some of them have been around for quite some time.
Juan Gonzalez, see you later on the Grace.
Street, yeah.
Yep. I actually was asked by someone maybe yesterday or the day before, when was the last time you went to the Grace Street corridor with those restaurants? So maybe get there, guys, because they're closing. Lily
Pearl was probably the last one that I would seek out. And we had Amy capping us on a couple weeks ago.
Julius is busy, but if you're down there, that might be a place to look at for somewhere to eat. I
saw on the RTD that Jufro was closing in October. They had a pretty good run there in Shockoe Bottom, but seemingly that run is coming to an end. And closer to my house, the Arepa Bar.
Yep, and you like that spot.
I love it so much. It's such a fun little spot.
It's a good memory for me because we ate those during the pandemic.
That's right. I brought them to your house.
With some really great wine.
Yeah.
Andre Mack, if you're listening. But I am crushed because I don't think we have a ton of spots like that. So
let's change. Time for a vibe shift. Mood shift.
Horse change.
You are able to eat out. Part of your job, you get to eat out and experience new places a lot. Have you been to any new places or any good stories you can tell from your dining adventures?
So I have thoughts on this, Scott, and so I actually just went to not a new place. I go to new places because I review them for Style Weekly, or I just reviewed Boku. It's not new, 2 years old.
You want an excuse to go see Donnie, didn't you?
Yes, but actually I'm trying to push the. Maybe it's not always the shiny new thing. I love a new restaurant. I'll be the first to say it. I love one. Obviously, look, that's gold, and I'll go. But I had a wonderful meal at Demi's, which is in the North Side, maybe last week or the week before.
Okay.
And I feel because I am so distracted, I'm sure other people are too, but I am very distracted by the new, that I forget about some of the old. I had an incredible meal at Heritage maybe a month ago, and I think that sometimes those restaurants, we don't keep thinking about them because we are so focused, especially us, because news. Like Dinamo, we were just talking about the fact that I spend a lot of time at Dinamo. It's one of my favorite restaurants, but I rarely talk about it because, I'm there, it's good. I know it's good.
So what is it about some of those old restaurants that you think they don't get the buzz that they maybe that they deserve?
It's just, it's news. They're great. It should be the news, right? They're amazing, so that is news. But media by and large is what's happening now, right? The new stuff.
The word new is in news.
Yes. And I think that we being me primarily, I miss the opportunity to celebrate some of the places that have been around for a while.
I feel like we have an ask of our viewers right now.
Yeah, are there places that you wish you saw more in the news that aren't new? I'd like to know what those are because I would like to go to them and I'd like to talk about them.
Yeah, they should be celebrated. If you can make it last, especially in this kind of environment, more kudos to you.
We have a lot of restaurants that have been open 20 years.
I do have a question for you. Mm-hmm. It is football season.
Mm-hmm.
Sports ball season. Do you go to sports bars to watch sports at sports bars?
Do you? I go with people to watch sports, but I mostly read. I know it's terrible.
Well, this could be a great conversation.
No, but I love the food at a sports bar. So the reason why I'm there. So I love sports bar food.
So football season, my favorite teams are not Virginia's favorite teams. Like Virginia Tech, you go to a sports bar, you're with a bunch of other Hokies, and everyone's cheering or reading, watching the game.
Watching us lose.
Or reading. But for me, Syracuse, like there's not really like a Syracuse bar or a huge bunch of Syracuse.
Is there not a place that their Syracuse is on?
I guess the point I'm trying to make is when I want to go to a sports bar, it has to be like specifically. It can't be like a big tech bar or a big, like the Bills Mafia. They have like a big NFL group. They watch the games together.
So are you looking for me to have suggestions on where you should go watch Syracuse? Because I don't have those.
I am looking for suggestions from our audience about not Syracuse specifically, but just in general, places where they go to watch sports and what they like about those places and what makes a good sports bar in their mind.
So for me, it's the wings.
But so the games last 3
I don't know about anybody else.
The games last 3 hours and the wings that's like a 15-minute situation, right?
You're not eating 2 sets of wings?
I guess I
it's a
should.
3-hour game. You get your first set, you drink a beer, then you get your second set. Am I the only one that does that?
Do you have a favorite wing spot?
So I like Sports Page in Midlothian. I think they do great wings. I wish that Jasper had a TV because I would totally watch sports there and eat their wings. Where else do we go? Wood and Iron has pretty good wings.
For Sunday NFL, like if you don't get there early and get set up, then you're going to get shut out of a sports bar.
So there has to be some secret places that people know about that you can go eat the good stuff and not get shut out.
Well, I will tell you, this past Sunday, I went to a sports bar, got shut out. So ended up at a brewery who had plenty of TVs. No food, obviously. They brought in food from next door, but it's a Wagon Brewery out in the West End next to Shoreline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very chill. I got to watch my game, got to drink some good beers, and was with like-minded individuals. So that was
David
pretty
Whitby,
cool.
there's a business right there. Wings at Shoreline for Wagon. There it is. I gave you a $5 million idea. Scott, are there TVs at Smoky Mug?
I saw a couple of TVs there, yeah. Plus barbecue, plus a breakfast biscuit that you need to know about.
So will you eat a breakfast biscuit while you're watching football?
Would I? It sounds like a dream come true.
Well, I learned a lot of things about this breakfast biscuit, the burrito, and how they're making barbecue over at the Smoky Mug, so we should listen.
Let's do it.
Well, you know what we have going on, Scott, today? We've got all sorts of barbecuing going on.
This is going to be a hot one. This is going to be a hot one.
I've got the Smoky Mug guys here, Dan Lee and Ryan Maynes, and I'm so excited because I talked to your wife like a lot.
More than he does,
we both
maybe.
love.
Yeah.
I get to check back every once in a while. I don't read all of it.
I mean, she's wonderful and has a lot of thoughts, and obviously so do I, so it's helpful when I can run those thoughts by someone who may be a little bit saner than me. So welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So new spot, down a little bit from the old spot, lots bigger than the old spot.
3 times.
So how did the whole thing come about? The Smoky Mug, obviously.
What's the origin story?
You want to start it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So our wives have been friends for a very long time, and so
It always starts with the women.
we had just moved into a new house, and we invited them over for dinner, and I had smoked a brisket in the backyard, and Dan brought over a lot of bourbon, and so we ate brisket, and they really liked it, and we drank a lot of bourbon. Dan's like, "Hey, I was thinking about opening a coffee shop, but there's a space there that we can do coffee and barbecue." And God bless our wives, because they thought they were like, these drunk guys are not going to get it. The very next day, I think we started getting into stuff, and it happened real fast.
And what year is this?
It was very fast.
What's the timeline here?
So the timeline is pretty interesting. This was right in the middle of COVID, so right at the beginning of 2020. And it was, everyone was separating and, distancing and that stuff. And we knew
Except for you two, apparently.
Yeah, well, we knew each other well, and it was just like, well enough. And
That was
they're
their
like,
pod.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I wish my pod had a brisket smoker.
Legend has it
Next
smoke
time.
Yeah,
kills
next
off
time it
that.
happens, I'm having a brisket smoker on my crew.
So when they invited us for dinner, I was like, yeah, we're not doing anything else. Like, let's go. And I mean, it was really good. I mean, obviously now everyone gets to eat Ryan's food, but that was the first time I'd had it. I was like, yo, this is incredible, dude. What are you doing? And right during that time, the other business I was involved in was struggling, with COVID. And
Can I ask what that was?
so it was called, it name changed a couple times. It was Savage Apparel and then VII Apparel.
Okay.
And it was sports and event related apparel, right? Custom apparel for sports teams.
I mean, 2020, that's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
2020, 2020.
Yeah. So During that time, that business was next door to the neighborhood coffee shop. And seeing their trajectory, I had mentioned to him before, I was like, hey, if you're ever out, let me know. And he ended up emailing right around the same time. So it was just like kind of serendipitous how it happened. And so after having had the food, talking to Ryan, he was like, yeah, I've always wanted to be able to serve this food. I was like, well, we've got this opportunity. Let's bourbon it up.
Yeah. And Ryan, what were you doing at the time? What was your...
I was a paving superintendent for Lehigh Paving here in Richmond.
So out there doing the work in the sun.
Yeah. So not too much different, actually.
Right. It's a hot job either way.
Yeah.
So we went from paving superintendent to... How did you learn how to smoke brisket?
So growing up, I grew up out in the country, and so barbecue was just like, that was the thing that we did.
Where is out in the country?
A very small town called Clayton, New Mexico. It's a very northeast corner of New Mexico. You could throw a brisket into Texas from my parents' front door. Sorry.
You could throw a brisket into Texas from your parents' front door.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an excellent visual.
Well,
I love it.
I mean, you need a little bit of an arm, but you can definitely get it there. But yeah, and so obviously being that, so the town I grew up in, to give you an idea how small it was, I graduated 42 kids in my high school class. The nearest Walmart was 2 hours away in Amarillo. So we didn't have much, but we had a sense of community and family, and barbecue was always that for us, and so I always wanted to do something like that.
So you learned from
my dad, really.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad came out when my last daughter was born, and I gave him some ribs, and I almost got choked up a little bit because he was like, "I've never tried anything like that," and I was like, "That's pretty high praise coming from him." So yeah, I learned. I'm a very visual person. You could tell me how to do something and I won't get it, but if I watch you do it one time, I pretty much have it forever. So just watching them and the other guys cook taught me a lot.
So how do you scale up? Because smoking one brisket with a little bit of bourbon or a lot of bourbon. In my case, it would be a ton of bourbon. A home cook is one thing. How do you scale up from that to what you're doing now? Because the first location, you guys were going through a lot of brisket, and it was even small.
Yeah. So we were in a little 1,400 square foot building, the majority of which was kitchen and a little bit of counter service, and then we had a giant patio. Again, back to COVID, like going in with the idea of what was happening, I was like, well, outdoor space is great. So that worked out well for the first year. And I mean, as Ryan was mentioning before, he was just like, well, we're gonna need a smoker, and that's kind of where it started. And then, I mean, it was fish to water. I think when you were asking where he learned, and he was like, oh, from my dad and community, I think it doesn't do enough justice and give enough credit to how independent I've seen Ryan be as far as an individual. And I'm gonna tell a story. So Ryan just recently started doing leather.
A jack of all trades.
Yeah.
A true Renaissance man.
And it's funny because like anytime we start talking about something, he's like, oh yeah, I'm like learning this and doing this, and I'm like figuring out from XYZ. So I wouldn't be surprised if over his last 30 years, while he's learned from his community and family, that he's taken like other resources to the next level to be like, I'm gonna perfect this craft. I mean, I can let him speak to it, but
I mean that I could not say it that way, but yeah, maybe, I don't know.
So when we first opened up, it didn't take anything for him to be like, yeah, we're gonna throw 12 briskets in right now. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, no, it was guesswork in the beginning, but you figure. I just figured people would show up, we did have the benefit of...
If you build it, they will come. I think that's all in the movie.
It's like such a business sentence. Yeah. I just figured people would show up.
Yeah. I mean,
the smell is good.
Yeah.
There's business school, and then there's Ryan's way of doing it. Yeah, they'll just show up. It's all good.
You know what? Sometimes it's the best way.
Hey, it seems like it.
I do think sometimes you just have to have a little bit of faith, and also, you can smell barbecue, right? So I was like, somebody's going to smell this, and somebody's going to come up, and it won't take long. They'll call and say, hey, you need to come try this. And so I guess there was a lot of hope that went into it too, but it did work out. And so, it was pretty exciting.
I want to go back to New Mexico for a moment. You said you learned from your dad. Was he a professional, or was it like a backyard situation?
So everybody thinks they're a professional over there. I can tell you that. So to answer that question, yeah, he's a professional. Love you, Dad. Yeah, it's just something. It's just a way of life, right? It's a big. You get this big cut of meat, and his way of doing it's different than my way of doing it now. You get that big cut of meat, and it's you get to hang out with your friends. It takes a long time to smoke a brisket, so you're drinking beer, you're hanging out with your friends or family, and you're cooking it the night before everything's going on, and so that happens, and it's it's just a community thing. And
But he was selling it out of the home, or he had a restaurant.
No,
that's what I meant. Was he a professional cook?
Yeah, he probably could have sold it. No, but it was. So the funny thing. So there's a big free barbecue at the XIT Rodeo. This is in Delhart, Texas, which is like 40 minutes from where I grew up. We'd go every year, and so they would feed. I mean, there's probably 15,000 people would show up to this rodeo, and they would feed you free barbecue. They cooked everything in the ground, and they would just dig trenches and just kick everything into the ground and cook over hot coals. One of the coolest things ever, and it's just kind of barbecue's kind of a way of life out there, and so everybody has their way of doing it, and everybody invites people over, and if you're around it and you see, usually they don't want the kids around because you're bothering them, right? But I would stick around until they shooed me away, and I learned things from them.
So what specifically did you learn, you think, during those times?
I learned how to control fire. I learned how to drink beer. I learned when you have a problem, what to do, like problem solving with the fire, like, hey, maybe if we move it around this way. Just watching people trouble, you just compound over years, and you kind of know what to do. You get a little bit of a head start when you start doing it yourself.
Now, you don't cook in the ground. You cook on a smoker.
Yeah.
And the differences from ground barbecue and smoke barbecue are pretty significant, wouldn't you say?
Oh, they are. And so, the ground cooking was an example, but...
no, but I love both of them. That's what I mean, like learning in one and the other, it's really great.
For sure. So I really like the offset way because, it's a lot, it's not easier by any means, but... in a way, controlling the temperature is easier because the firebox is separate of the actual meat. So it kind of comes natural. Like I think now, I wanted these expensive tell-the-truth thermometers for the smoker, and now I can just look at the fire and know what it's doing. You know what I mean? You don't know that you'll get that way, but you do it enough times, you know exactly what to do without even having to look at a temperature gauge.
Is it just you doing the cooking, or are there other...
It was for a while. It's not anymore, actually. I don't get to cook as much as I'd like to. We have really good employees. Zach, one of them, he's one of the main guys who's cooking all the time. Cole, and I'm training a new guy now that hopefully he'll work out. But funny enough, so Dan hired him to be a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And he got the wrong time to show. He showed up, he was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here to wash. I was like, there's no dishes to wash. I think he might be here to learn how to smoke. He wasn't, but I taught him anyway. So, but he got it.
I love this business.
He wasn't, but I taught him.
I taught him right away, and he was just a natural. And so I was like, buddy, you ain't washing dishes at all.
This is not your calling. Brisket is.
Yeah, and he's been with us. Yeah, he's really good.
So how do you handle those secrets? Because I hear that all the things that go. I mean, at least from being in Richmond, let's back up. I hear that barbecue is very secret-driven, recipes and such. How do you handle that inside your business?
I think it is a secret, right? I mean, it can be if you're worried about it, but honestly, you still got to do the work, right? And still make it come out taste good. So I don't mind sharing everything we do. You still got to do it.
Sure. Yeah, you have to execute.
Yeah.
And cooking over fire, you say that you've learned. It's a hard business. It has failed many a chef, open fire cooking. I mean, good chefs. So let's talk about how you got to the Smoky Mug. Like, where are you from?
No, I mean, I'm mostly from Richmond. So, I mean, I was born in Korea, but been in the metro Richmond area since I was 5. Grew up down in Colonial Heights and Chester. Just kind of progressed up 95, the corridor, through that time. I went away for a little bit post-college and then came back in 2008. And then have been working around doing various different things. Had a couple restaurant jobs, but then got involved in small business life with the apparel company. My parents have been entrepreneurs, American entrepreneurs since landing here, so always been involved with their businesses. And then then this happened. I don't know. I love restaurant life. Like, I like going to restaurants. I love good dining experiences. Love good food. Love coffee shops. I've always been very driven by the neighborhood coffee shop, just like the vibe it creates, the sense of community center, and even vacationing. I'm like, where's the nearest one? I'm going to go every morning. Yeah, and then so having the one next to the business I was a part of, that was important. Seeing where they were headed and not headed, I guess, more to speak, was important. And then we had moved into the neighborhood, so it was like, this is it. This is the neighborhood shop. And then, so they were roasting their own beans at the time, which was where the extra space came from. And I was like, I have no interest in this. I don't want to roast beans. I just want a coffee shop.
I just want to make really good coffee drinks.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what did you notice about that previous business that you were like, this is where they're missing them, other than roasting their own beans? Like, is there a spot where you thought, this is not what I would be doing?
Yeah, so I mean, like, the aesthetic was different, right? So it was more industrially based as far as the roasters. So as far as the shop portion, there just wasn't much intention in it, and it was kind of sterile feeling. There wasn't
It was very like a dust town almost. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was like, are you sure this is a place?
People weren't congregating. People weren't sitting around. Like, you saw people go in for coffee and come out and leave. It was like, it just didn't have the sense of life that I would have wanted. Yeah.
That's fair. I feel like coffee shops should have a little bit of buzz.
I showed the advantage.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate
I don't know
it.
that I would.
Don't encourage her.
I love it though. Keep going.
One of Dan's strengths is seeing the positivity in something. I'm so sorry.
No, I love it. No.
Dan's strength is seeing the positivity in something. He's the idea guy, and he's gonna ride it all the way through. And so I don't think I would have chose this spot, and I was just happy somebody's giving me a shot, right? Like, and it sounds good that everybody likes your food, but until I'm like, no, I'm not charging you for the food. What are you gonna say if I charge you for the food? But you know, if he has an idea, he's gonna run with it, and his determination. I think that led a lot. I mean, the food is one thing, but his determination led to us being successful.
So Texas barbecue, by and large, is way different than Virginia barbecue.
It is.
Can you tell us, as you're the expert, the differences between the two?
Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert. I know the flavors that I want to put out there, and but you also want to have something for the folks that are local around here, right? It's so. And to me, some people might get mad over this. I think Virginia barbecue is very similar to North Carolina barbecue, and so we kind of tie both of those things into it. I do the pulled pork. You would say a North Carolina, Virginia style way, but with some like Southwest seasonings, right? So I have some spice in there that they're definitely not going to put in, but we use a Carolina vinegar sauce, and we try to be pretty authentic to that, other than putting some limes and some lemons in it. But other than that, you know, we try to. You want to be familiar to people and maybe put a little spin on it, and so I think we do that pretty well. A lot of people compliment on the. One of my best friends is from North Carolina, and he's like, dude. So, you know, that's a pretty good compliment from him. But I'm not an expert. I just want to have good food that we put out there, you know. Sure,
and you guys do have good food, which is why you have to have a bigger space. So you moved from 1,400 square feet, which is minute. I mean, I think there was like 3 seats in the inside.
There weren't a lot.
And there was always somebody in one of them. It was great.
You could squeeze 6 people on that bench.
Why not?
If you're thick like me, there was 1 seat.
How big is the new spot?
So it's 3,000 on the main floor, but then we have some additional storage in the basement. And then
you're storing people down? No.
Yeah. All the cooks.
This is not the kind of podcast. It's not a true crime podcast.
And so we went from I think we had 8 seats on the inside. We had 8 before, and now we have 35 in the dining room, a 10-seater bar, plus a lounge area that can comfortably seat 25, plus the outdoor patio.
Wow, so you've effectively quadrupled the amount of food you're going to have to put out.
You know, we felt it right away.
Yeah, we felt it immediately.
We're still waiting on our second smoker. So I didn't want to. I didn't build the smoker this time around.
So you're using a smoker you built.
Yeah, we started it. Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, yeah, I can build a smoker.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
Well, just doing
A little
it,
bit of
I
an
guess.
explosion.
A YouTube
turns out.
video, or did you?
I wish it was as easy as that. Yeah, no, I was like, why did I
Explosion,
say
did
I
you say?
could definitely do that? Because I
Did you go look at other smokers to see, or did you just like?
Yeah, so that's this is that where we came in was EZQ. I actually I was a big fan of Chris Fultz, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so actually a little bit starstruck by him. I said I called up and he was nice enough to let me come over. I was like, I just want to take a look at your smokers. I get an idea for what I'm doing. I just don't want to make something that sucks, basically. So he was nice enough to let me come over, and I was nervous to meet him. And I took a notebook. I wish I'd have brought it with me because the only thing I wrote down was the. I wrote down the, and then I was just like, all right, I got to look around this thing. But yeah, and I would never looked at the notes anyway because I'm a visual guy. So, you know, I put my head in the smokers. I probably spent 20 minutes there, and it was very cool that they let me do that. And I walked out, and I was like, all right, I guess I got enough to build this, and it cooks very, very well. I did have help from a friend of mine that worked with me in paving, Bob, who actually after we built the smoker, he bought into the company. So it was he was like, I want to be a part of this. I was like, that's awesome. Good guy, and I always believe. I always liked hanging around the older gentlemen because they'll teach you something. You know, they know a lot. And so just I've always tried to do that, just get some information and just be learning. And he taught me a lot. So
Yeah, I think Ryan has glazed over just like the complexity of building the smoker and how much pain it was.
All right, Daniel. What's the truth?
So first thing is,
So
like,
that was the spark notes. Bring us home. Yeah.
we got the.
Yeah.
Let's move past
So I think
that.
the first thing is like it comes natural to Ryan. So it's like welding is in itself an incredible trade, right? In the craft.
Like seriously.
Yeah, and so when we're like, all right, we got to build this. We got to get a smoker, and he was like, I think we'll just build the smoker. I was like, you know how to do that? He's like, I'm gonna figure it out. So being able to weld something like that is pretty incredible. And then so it starts with, well, we got to find the vessel itself. So it's just like some looking around the internet, calling around. You have to find a decommissioned propane tank that is 500 or 1,000 gallon. I think the big commercial ones they're building now are 1,000 gallon, but you can do it out of 500. And with the space we had, that was the
What you
appropriate size. And to rewind a little bit, I was working next door at the time, and so he's out there. He's like, "All right, I got it. It's here." The thing is huge. It's monstrous, and it's incredibly heavy. And it's like, what are we gonna do with this thing? It's just landed on the concrete pad there.
Somebody just brought it, backed it up, and
He
set it
did.
down.
They just backed it up.
we
They're
found
like,
it on
"Here."
accident. So we were at
You found it on accident?
We were on a family trip out with my wife's folks out. We were in Wintergreen, and I stopped to get fuel on the way back, and this Tiger propane truck comes up, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, your name's Ryan. My name's Ryan. Do you guys have any like used propane tanks?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. Here's the office number. Call them."
I
So
don't
I
know.
called, and the guy's like, "Yeah, we got a few. You wouldn't want them for anything." I was like, "Yeah, I'll come take a look." And so I went out there. He's like, $100, you can take it. And I was like, I had rented a U-Haul trailer. I was like, "Can you help me load it up?" And so we loaded it up, and then we figured out how to unload it when we got there. And I did size it up for a few weeks before I started cutting on it. But
It's a fun
Yeah.
drive back over Afton Mountain with the the propane
with your
tank.
$100 propane tank.
So apparently, you're supposed to fill these things with soap and water. He's like, "Yo, you can't cut this until you fill it up with soap and water. You got to make sure it's all cleaned out because it's full of propane." So you start welding, which is heat and fire. Yeah. So he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this," and it all went well for a little while. He's in the dark for a lot of the time, just like cutting holes into it. He's like, "I think I got to stop for tonight." And it's like, man, you were really getting after it. And I mean, I don't know how long it took. 3 weeks?
it took
6 weeks?
It took a lot longer than I thought it would. I can tell you that.
But I mean, the thing was magical. It put a giant smokestack on it, put incredible doors on it, and he's being modest again because like months later, he's like, "Man, this thing really cooks great."
I don't know what I did, but it worked out.
But we're not going to build the second one.
Well, so I mean,
We might have to.
we were supposed to get our second smoker in June. Got a phone call, and so I went with. They are the #1 smoker builder in Texas.
Is it John Lewis's company?
No, it's M&M BBQ. We're still waiting on our smoker. So I went there last November. We went to Texas.
Are we good on sound?
Just scoot up a little.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nick's like, can you get him to come up closer?
No, M&M BBQ company out of Texas. They I mean, almost all of their stuff can be NSF certified, which is a huge thing. I mean, not for us really here, but they're very good at what they do. It's like the Ferrari of smoker builders, and I was like, if I'm not building it, they're gonna build it. And so I went to them last November, around about the same time the Texas Monthly Top 50 Barbecue Fest is going on, and so I went to them, gave them some money for deposit, and they said about 8 months. So it was gonna be ready in June, which would actually have been a little bit too early for us. Yeah. So we were like, oh, kind of dodged a bullet, you know. It's not ready yet. And but then I called, and she said October. And just talking with them recently, they then said January. Well, the problem is that we actually need that thing because now all we've got is I had built another direct heat smoker called El Guapo, which is kind of a funny name because it is not pretty at all or handsome. But it does it's a direct heat type of smoker where you can do whole hog on and stuff like that. We haven't done that yet, but it's very good at cooking chicken and pork steaks. Anyway, so their latest thing is January, and we just there's a lot of things that we plan to do. We do an Oktoberfest every year where we make a bunch of sausage. We don't have the room to do that right now because we don't have the cooking space and still have our regular service. So hoping we get that second smoker soon.
And if not, Ryan's on call.
Yeah. Gotta go find a 1,000
propane tank in Wintergreen.
Yeah.
How has the new space been for you guys so far? For full disclosure, we're recording this in September. People will be hearing it in October, so there's a couple weeks.
Okay. I mean, it's been great. I guess short story. I think to tell you more about our original location and our success there, the neighborhood has been so incredible. Like the neighborhood just kind of immediately around us has shown us incredible support, and obviously that's expanded to more of the Richmond area. But throughout that time, we get constant messages of like, when are you opening back up? We miss you. How are you doing? Like, are things happening well? And it's very endearing, but also it gives us a lot of confidence that we'd be doing okay. Through our open, we definitely saw that. We saw that outpouring of support. So it was really great to see, and it's carried through for like the first, what are we in, week 4, week 5? So I mean, it's been wonderful. Everyone's been pretty enthusiastic. We have a few hiccups and challenges that we're working through. I think the part of that is kind of hard on us is we've been in business and this is a big move. So I think the expectation's a little higher than like brand new business. I think you get a little bit more grace as a brand new business. Like, oh, you're brand new, you're gonna get there. But so some of the things that have happened with us is the little hiccups and challenges we face. We want to try to adjust pretty quickly so that we can recapture everyone's confidence.
Now, are you there like on the daily basis managing it? Is that your role? Are you?
Dan, I will say I haven't been able to be there as much as I've wanted to with us having a new baby and my wife returning back to work, and she's the breadwinner right now till we get another smoker. But Dan's been there a lot, and he's been working his butt off. But yeah, I mean, so just getting used to work. I never worked in a restaurant before. I take it back. I worked at a Dairy Queen for a couple months and I got fired. So,
you're not built for ice cream. We've learned that. You're built for barbecue.
But just being in the bigger space compared to the old space. At the old space, you could basically look over your shoulder and see if something's not going right and fix it right away. At the new space, you got to do some moving. And so if you schedule yourself for a shift and you're there working, you might not see where you're failing. So that's just the biggest thing is trying to adjust to that new space, I think, really.
Yeah. There's a lot more space to manage.
A lot more employees.
A lot more employees. So we thought we had enough when we first opened. We had started to staff up in the transitional time. Like, yeah, let's get some more people. We had a bunch more people come on, did the training. And then week 1, it was like, we need to double that. So we did.
Gosh.
Like the increase, we just doubled the increase, and it's been great. We our hiring practices, I think, are pretty sound. We're not seeking talent; we're seeking people and personality. People who we think fit the culture we want, and
which is what? What is that culture?
Which is what? Service and hospitality is kind of at the forefront of what we want to provide, and I think. The twofold business model is just that: is great food, which Ryan provides, and then great service and hospitality. I think that's all it really takes for a restaurant to survive and make it. If you can do those two things, then you kind of hit the mark. But in order to accomplish that, you need people who are invested in the community. You need people who care about others in a way that is very empathetic, compassionate, and then that again turned inward. It's like you need people who are great at teamwork. People who definitely want to be a part of something more than themselves and see it succeed.
Why do you think the community has been so supportive of your restaurant?
Oh, that's a big question.
Well, I mean, it's that community has grown.
It has.
Yeah.
I think, and that's a part of it. I think there's a real hunger, no pun intended, for things to be in that business corridor, a place for people to go. I think one of the things that we did early in our life cycle was to try to create events where families could come out, and that's stuff that they really enjoy doing. We have a annual trunk or treat every year. That's our kind of anniversary because we opened right around Halloween. So that's something that people look forward to, and just kind of, and as Ryan mentioned, Oktoberfest is something we do. So constantly providing those opportunities for the community to engage each other, be in space together.
I mean, that corridor is home to some of our favorite places to visit and eat and drink.
Your little crush
Let's
with
give them
ice
some
cream.
shout-outs.
Yeah, let's give them some shout-outs.
You got
Marvin at Manchu.
You got
Yeah,
Manchu.
Marvin's my
Yep.
boy.
Fuzzy Cactus.
We cannot get enough of Marvin and Manchu.
Yeah.
We actually recorded a podcast behind in that little area where he stands. We recorded the podcast in there.
Oh, wow.
So the three of us were
was
like
tight.
this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
While people were coming to order wings, it was the greatest.
And he knows everybody, right?
Oh.
And that's the thing, and that he does that for
That comes
the community
natural
as well.
to him. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's just that's the way he is.
I feel like he needs a mic in there and hand it off. Now serving this guest.
So Rabia, obviously.
I mean,
Yep.
can't
Yeah.
get enough of Rabia.
Yeah, she's great.
Beth Dixon.
Beth is our bar consultant, which
Yeah.
we're super proud of.
Man, could she be the best in Richmond?
She was one of our
she
first
is.
guests on the podcast. Yeah.
She actually was listed best in Richmond
Oh,
recently, right?
I mean, I think she's well on her way to being the
Yeah.
best in the state. But I mean, yeah, Beth is great. Who else is over there? Fuzzy Cactus. I can't get
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, they do great events. I think you said this on another something you did where their food doesn't get enough credit. Where I think they have a great food program.
I think they have. I mean, and also service. I think a lot of people their service model is similar. I think maybe to yours. We want people that have personality. We want people that are open to service mentality. And we want people that have ties to the neighborhood or to Richmond itself. Yeah, I think it's really cool.
I think the cool thing, so barbecue is communal, and I think coffee really is too. And so when you see that's the whole point of barbecue. You see just it's kind of like if you went to a hibachi place, you sit with a new family you don't know, and all of a sudden you strike up a conversation. Plenty of people newly moved in the neighborhood sit with people who've been there for a while. They start talking. You got new friends, and because we get to see that from the smokehouse, you're watching all that go down. And so I think that's probably the other cool part too. If you don't know anybody, you might as well go to the Smoky Mug because you're going to meet somebody new and they're going to welcome you.
There's the soundbite.
There it is.
I mean, look, there's the commercial right there. You did it.
We did it.
Barbecue and coffee community.
I went for the first time Sunday morning. I went for breakfast with some
He
friends.
sent me a message. He was like, I've got to go. I was like, go.
And, it was pouring rain Sunday. I don't know if you guys were there Sunday morning. It was
yeah.
pouring rain, and I was like, there's not going to be anybody in this place. It was slam-packed, and everyone was having a great time, and the food was delicious. And
Did
the
you
atmosphere-
have the burrito?
We had bowls, and we had biscuits. We
Have
did not
I
have the
taught
burrito.
you nothing?
I got to go back. I don't need a reason to go back.
Speaking of the biscuit, that's actually pretty new, which we're super excited about the new space, which is that we
nice.
got to expand our pastry program. One of our managers is a trained pastry chef, and she hasn't had the opportunity until now to really spread her wings. So the move has afforded that opportunity for new equipment, new space.
I have not had this biscuit.
Excuse me.
What?
I mean, listen, I take your advice very often, but I had to go out on a limb here.
Well,
and,
I
and
mean,
order
now
the
that I know
biscuit.
about this biscuit, I guess I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, eggs and chili.
The cookie's
and
really good too. The churro.
I had brisket in there.
Churrodio?
Yeah, the churro cookie. It's very good. I know because I stole like 10 of them. The next morning.
I mean, you own the place. You can't steal it. It's yours.
If you look at the security video, I'm definitely like scooping them in the bag.
So that's where they all go. You guys aren't selling them.
It's okay.
But it's literally, it's a
You're paying them in cookies,
Yeah.
right?
just to put a finer point on it, it's a barbecue restaurant, a bar, a coffee shop, and a breakfast place. I mean, it's like all my favorite things
It's like they never
under one
sleep.
I
roof.
think it's everyone's favorite things.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is the model, be everyone's favorite thing.
It always works out. How long does a brisket take?
Well, it depends on the season. So now that it's getting cooler, it takes a little bit longer. And we are cramming our little 500-gallon smoker as much as we can, with trying not to let the food quality go down when you hit, you don't want to have too much in there, but we're definitely at the limit. It takes, right now, about 12 hours plus the rest, so about, I would say 13 hours until you can put it in the warmer and go home for the night.
So is somebody there overnight, or really, are you there really
we
early in the morning?
We get there really early, yeah. We get there early and just kind of see it through. And our cooks are really cool because they don't want to let somebody take over the cook for. A lot of places will be like, okay, that they start the cook, they finish the cook. I'm like, nobody's touching my brisket. If I start the brisket, I'm taking it all the way through because that's my brisket, and they care. And so that's a big thing.
I've had a weird question, and this is like really getting granular because I don't think I understand it. So maybe it's like a historical thing. Do you guys wrap it in that dark brown paper?
We do. We use butcher paper. Yeah.
Why is that?
So the butcher paper breathes. A lot of people will use foil, but you get it, the foil won't breathe, and so you kind of get almost like a steamed reaction to it, to where it's almost like you cooked it in a crock pot. It's like it's pot roasty almost. And so the butcher paper allows air to still travel through it, but still kind of is keeping in some of that moisture. So you get to braise it a little bit, but still have air moving through there, and so it's just kind of the best of both worlds.
This is one of those secrets.
I've always wanted to know. And I was like, oh, maybe they just think it's pretty.
So you know how our bodies sweat? This is gonna be so nerdy. All right, so if you're running, your body starts sweating, you're cooling yourself, right? And so briskets do the same thing. At about 165 degrees, they start eking out all this moisture. They call that the stall. And so that's where any home cook that's tried to make brisket, they're like, it doesn't move past 165. I've been here 3 hours. It doesn't do it. And so for us, we know that it's going to hit 165 and it's going to be like dead stop. So when it hits 165, we ramp up that heat and we're just going to cruise past it. Because if not, it's eking out that moisture. It's cooling itself. It's going to take forever. So we cruise past that stall. And then after that, we'll take it out and wrap it. After it looks like really moist. Like, hey, that looks beautiful. It's not. It's not done yet. We need it to look dry again, and then we pull it back out. We'll spritz it a little bit, wrap it in the butcher paper, and then throw it back in until it feels done.
And that's
we're just touching it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned October is your anniversary. This podcast is coming out in October. Is there an event that we can announce, like a specific date and time yet?
Sure hope so. So, I mean, we do the trunk or treat generally in the last weekend of October. Okay. Right now, that is actually Halloween, I think. So we'll have to kind of toy with whether we'll do it on Halloween or the weekend prior. But it's a trunk or treat. It's, we open up our parking lot. We have special either staff or local nonprofits, or even sometimes we've had customers who are really engaged, like regulars who just love us. They want to be the trunk, We open up a trunk or treat. They're all decorated. We invite all of our patrons to come out costumed. We get some really great family costumes. They're really cute. We run a little costume contest that's staff and owner voted. And we generally have a special snack menu. And now that we have a bar, it'll be very bar driven.
Nice.
And it's usually a very good time. We throw some tunes out in the parking lot and people start dancing, kids dancing. There's nothing better than seeing a group of 10 kids, toddlers just jamming out.
I agree, especially if one's dressed like a baby chick.
Yeah,
that's my favorite costume.
And we talked about the community, and Richmond obviously is a city of neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. I just call that area North Side, but if you live there, what's the actual name of that area?
So interestingly, the neighborhood that we're in has 7 different components.
Right.
You call it North Side, and it is North Side, right? By and large, we're in North Side. Immediately, I think it's Brooklyn Park. Just to the east, it's
Barton Heights.
North Highland Park. Oh, and then to the north and south, it's North Barton Heights, South Barton Heights. Just to the west is Ginner Park, and then just past that, you have your Bellevue, and north is Lake. So there's a lot of it, and it's funny when people are like, oh, yeah, I'm in the neighborhood. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're down the street. They're like, no, I'm in Ginner Park. And it's like, you're still in the neighborhood. And then you'll have other Ginner Park people who are like, oh, I'm so far. I'm in Ginner Park across Chamberlain. It's like, you're so close. Stop.
It's just a road.
We, working for the news, we hear a lot of things from a lot of people, as you can imagine. And the one thing I think we hear the most is when we get the neighborhood wrong or by the wrong name, people cannot stand that. It's like Churchill, North Churchill. Uh-huh. I don't know the difference.
You got pride in your neighborhood. When somebody says you live in the museum district, I'm like, no, I do not.
You're one block over.
I'm in the fan.
But there are those neighborhoods that have, like you said, the intersectionality of it all. Where it's
well, you live nearby. Where do you live?
Personal time.
Yeah.
I need the exact address so we can come.
So when I told people who weren't in the neighborhood, I would say I lived in Brooklyn Park. If people were wondering from the neighborhood, it was Highland Park Terrace is actually the very specific.
Ooh, granular.
It gets
and I like
confusing.
it.
It gets really confusing.
Are you close?
Yeah, I am. Well, I live on Barton, so I don't know what I'm living in the north side.
Yeah, it's north.
Thank you.
You're in North
Yeah,
Barton
I'm in
Heights.
North Barton.
He's
Yeah.
from Virginia. I mean,
We're very proud of
it's
our
all
street,
good.
though. We're very proud of Barton. Yeah.
So if you guys are not eating,
he can throw a barbecue all the way across to the
he
river.
can throw
probably.
a brisket across if he has a really good arm.
Exactly.
That was the caveat. The last
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
If you guys aren't eating in your own restaurant and stealing cookies, where are you guys going?
Oh man. So I mean, if it's lunch, probably Manchu.
Do I hear a collaboration
Yeah.
coming?
Oh, we
They
actually
share the
already
parking
talked to
lot,
Marvin
so-
about it.
God, my dreams come true. Did I just manifest that?
Yeah, we've done some like Mardi Gras stuff. I've made beignets like just shooting from the hip. They turned out fine. I bet his are better. But yeah, it would be cool.
So
They're getting wings from Manchu. I love it. I mean, that guy's so great.
he's so great. I've shared this with Ryan and most of the team. I've wanted to do. I don't know if you believe this or will believe it after I say this. There is like a nice synergy between Asian flavors and Mexican flavors. And,
Sure.
like Tex-Mex. So I've wanted to.
It's a whole historical thing, so yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
you should look it up. It's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I remember before we opened, Ryan was like, "Oh, here's the pulled pork," like. Then I took the pulled pork and I put some of my mom's like stuffed vegetables on there, and I was like, "This is great." And I shared it with him. He was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And throughout our like first 3 years, I've wanted really hard to do a Lunar New Year like fusion special event thing.
So cool.
But we hadn't had the space, and it was in February. It was cold, and it was like, there's no space. But now maybe it's the opportunity. One of those menu items, which if I don't say it out loud, he'll be mad. One of our regulars actually was like, "You need to do this," which is a brisket banh mi. And Marvin, I told him about it. He's like, "Dude, let's do it. We should probably do it. It sounds pretty incredible."
I'm coming.
Yeah.
You guys and him together will be just so much fun. The energy in that area would just, you might explode Brooklyn Park.
Oh, maybe.
Straight up, you could get the ABC team in there.
And the ice cream, don't forget that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Rabia could make a flavor.
We do have a collaboration with Rabia coming up. So we're going to start doing a signature ice cream from Rabia.
Nice.
And then creating our own dessert affogato.
I was late to the news on it. I got mad because they were clearing smoker space for cinnamon sticks. I was like, why are we doing this right now?
Ice cream's coming with your churro cookie. I feel like that's like a perfect thing to go with it.
Sounds like we have to go back soon.
Soon.
And actually,
weekly probably.
Weekly.
I've yet, don't shoot me, I've yet to visit the new space.
You're giving me a hard time.
I know, but I wanted to
Unreal.
give them a little bit before I rolled in there and ordered every burrito.
Unreal.
I love it.
We make our own tortillas in house. You can't. You won't
Which is
find a better one in town.
Awesome. Awesome. So we covered new events, we covered neighborhood, we covered barbecue. I think we've covered all the things.
We'll have them back if we haven't covered it all.
We will. So you're listening to Eat It Virginia with the Smoky Mug, Roby Martin, and Scott Wise.